Has it ever crossed your mind that a food as basic as fruit might actually be silently undermining your well-being? From the time we were kids, it was drilled into us that fruit is essentially nature's candy, packed with all the good stuff like vitamins, antioxidants, and wholesome sweetness. However, there's a crucial piece of information that almost always gets left out. The reality is, not every fruit has the same effect on us, particularly once we get older. For anyone in their 60s and beyond, it's a fact that our bodies just don't operate the same way they used to. You'll notice your metabolism isn't as fast as it once was, and your digestive system can get a lot more delicate. Keeping your blood sugar in a stable range becomes a much more delicate balancing act. And honestly, some of the very fruits that are perfectly healthy for younger folks can start to pose a silent threat to older adults. I'm not exaggerating, they can be genuinely dangerous. We're talking about things like excessive sugar content, potentially hazardous interactions with medications, or even acidity you might not be aware of. If you're not paying attention, these fruits can lead to some serious health problems. The flip side, though, is that there's some really good news. Nature also provides us with truly life-enhancing fruits that can bolster the health of your heart, combat inflammation, safeguard your memory, and even boost the strength of your bones. So today, speaking from my own experience of a long life and decades spent studying these bodily changes, I'm going to lay out for you the 4 fruits to steer clear of and the 4 that you should definitely make a part of your diet. Because your body truly deserves the best care possible. Let's not waste any time and jump right in. But before we get started, if you're not already a subscriber, I highly suggest hitting that subscribe button and ringing the notification bell. That way, you won't miss out on any future health advice designed specifically for you. If you're finding this video valuable, just type the number 1 in the comments section below. And if it's not quite hitting the mark, type a 0 so I can get your feedback on how to create content that better serves you. The 4 dangerous fruits for seniors. 1. Grapefruit, the hidden danger for medication users. First up on the list of 4 dangerous fruits for seniors is one that might surprise you. Grapefruit, which can act as a silent threat for anyone on medication. When you just look at it, a grapefruit appears perfectly innocent, maybe even a little beautiful. With its vibrant pink interior, its uniquely refreshing tartness, and its reputation for being good for the heart, it's no wonder it has become a fixture at so many breakfast tables. However, for those of us who are a bit older, particularly over the age of 60, this fruit holds a secret danger that is seriously underestimated. Tucked away behind its appealing juiciness is a biochemical hazard that you rarely hear people discuss. It's a risk that can silently disrupt the exact medications designed to keep your heart rhythm steady, your blood pressure under control, and your anxiety managed. You see, grapefruit has a compound in it that actually obstructs a vital liver enzyme known as CYP3A4, and this enzyme's job is to metabolize a wide range of common prescription medications that seniors often take. When this enzyme is inhibited, the medicine you're taking can accumulate in your bloodstream to toxic levels, much like a river that's been dammed up and has no outlet. The results of this buildup can be absolutely devastating. This could mean severe muscle damage from statins, potentially fatal heart rhythm problems, uncontrolled bleeding if you're on blood thinners, or dangerously amplified effects from anti-anxiety medication. For anyone who relies on these prescriptions for their very survival, a fruit that appears to be so healthy could actually become a hidden poison. And the truly tragic part is that the majority of seniors are completely unaware of this risk. They'll have some grapefruit for breakfast and then take their medication right after, never making the connection between the two until it's too late and they're being hurried to the emergency room. In the worst cases, some people don't even survive long enough to find out what went wrong. This is the devastating cost of putting faith in something that looks healthy on the surface without understanding the full story. Now, my intention here isn't to scare you just for the sake of it. It's about sharing wisdom that comes from lived experience. Grapefruit itself isn't some kind of evil fruit. But for any senior who takes prescription medication, and that's more than 70% of Americans over the age of 65, the potential gamble just isn't worth taking. There are plenty of other, safer fruits you can enjoy that don't involve risking the health of your heart, your liver, or your very life. But if a fruit as bright and cheerful as grapefruit can conceal danger right before our eyes, what other fruits could be feigning safety while secretly working against your well-being? Let's delve into the next one, which is small, sweet, and can be surprisingly harmful if you overdo it. If you are still with me and finding this information useful, I'd appreciate it if you would comment with the number 1 below so I know we're on the same page. Now let's get to our second point. 2. Cherries, a risk for arthritis and diabetes. Cherries are so tiny, so sugary, and so deceptively pure. For a lot of us, they conjure up fond memories of summertime, of freshly baked pies set out to cool on windowsills, of big bowls of cherries at family picnics, and that distinctly satisfying pop as the pit comes loose. But as we get on in years, something that once seemed like a simple indulgence can now quietly work against our health. The issue is that cherries, particularly when eaten in large quantities or consumed in concentrated versions like juice, dried fruit, or syrup, contain an incredibly high amount of natural sugar. Just 1 cup of sweet cherries has nearly 20 grams of sugar. For a younger person with a quick metabolism and a reliable insulin response, this might not pose a significant problem. But for seniors who are managing type 2 diabetes, prediabetes, or even insulin resistance they don't know about, that sugar surges into the bloodstream, triggering spikes that can harm organs over the long term and make us feel tired, mentally foggy, and exposed. And the threat isn't just about the sugar. Cherries have a natural acidity, and for older adults who are already coping with inflammation, arthritis, or aching joints, this acidic quality can actually make their symptoms worse. It's true that fresh cherries do have antioxidants, but if you eat too many, especially in processed forms, their acidic and sugary nature can completely backfire. The very thing you were hoping would bring your body some relief might instead provoke the exact pain you were trying to get away from. And what's the consequence you face? It's a silent, creeping kind of damage. You might not notice it immediately, but that flare-up in your knees that spoils your morning walk, the sudden rise in blood sugar that makes you feel lightheaded, or the restless night caused by swollen joints. It's all interconnected. That bowl of cherries, eaten with the best intentions, transforms into a catalyst for discomfort, instability, and lasting harm. This is especially heartbreaking because cherries just feel so harmless. Yet the reality is that as we mature, even sweetness itself is something we need to reevaluate. And if these little fruits can throw your body's balance off so drastically, just think about what could occur when your potassium levels get dangerously out of whack from a far more ordinary fruit, one that many seniors consume daily without giving it a second thought. 3. Bananas, a warning on potassium overload. For the better part of our lives, bananas have stood as a symbol of good health. They're simple, they're convenient, and they're loaded with potassium. We were always told they could help with muscle cramps, give us an energy boost, and were beneficial for heart health. For a younger person's body, that largely holds true. But as we enter our later years, our bodies don't process nutrients in the same way they once did. And having too much of a good thing can silently transform into a genuine threat. Yes, bananas are packed with potassium. But for seniors, particularly those with compromised kidney function, existing heart issues, or those taking blood pressure drugs like ACE inhibitors or potassium-sparing diuretics, this potassium can accumulate to unsafe levels. Your kidneys, which were once highly efficient filters, are now starting to work more slowly. Consequently, that surplus potassium isn't flushed from the body like it's supposed to be. It lingers in your system, gradually seeping into your bloodstream, where it can interfere with your heart's normal rhythm, your muscles' ability to function, and even your mental sharpness. This condition, known as hyperkalemia, may not grab headlines, but it is responsible for sending thousands of seniors to the hospital emergency room each year. Just 1 too many bananas over a week's time could be enough to trigger it. You might notice a flutter in your chest, a feeling of weakness in your legs, or just a general sense that something isn't right. But by the time these symptoms become obvious, the internal damage might have already started. The price you pay is a fruit that is supposed to be nourishing you instead threatens to take away your stability, your vitality, and even your heartbeat. Most older adults would never think to blame the banana. It just seems too basic and wholesome. But simplicity can be misleading, especially when your body's internal workings are more delicate than they look from the outside. So, the next time you go to grab a banana, pause and ask yourself, is my body in true need of this? Or is it just something I've grown accustomed to eating? Because often the danger isn't in the things we actively fear, but in the things we just assume are safe. This is especially true for a fruit that wears a mask of health. A snack many people see as nutritious but is actually a concentrated sugar trap pretending to be dried nutrition. 4. Dried fruits, sugar bombs in disguise. They are often found sitting tidily in small snack bags, appearing perfectly harmless, even healthy. We're talking about raisins, dates, dried apricots, and cranberries. You see them in trail mixes, scattered over a bowl of oatmeal, or even offered in a doctor's waiting room as a wholesome choice. But for seniors, these dried fruits frequently conceal a grim reality under their wrinkled exteriors. They are sugar bombs masquerading as wellness food. What a lot of people don't grasp is that when you dry a fruit, all the water content gets extracted, but the sugars are left behind, now highly concentrated into a much smaller package. A handful of raisins might not seem like a big deal, but it contains a sugar load equivalent to eating an entire bunch of fresh grapes, but without the benefit of the fiber, the water content, and with all that sugar packed in. Furthermore, the majority of dried fruits you find on supermarket shelves are also coated with extra sugar or treated with sulfites, which can exacerbate issues like asthma and migraines, and can even contribute to inflammation in your digestive system. For those of us in our later years, particularly if we're dealing with type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, or a sensitive digestive system, these little snacks can quietly cause chaos. They lead to sharp spikes in blood sugar, create gut discomfort, and, most damagingly, they provide a misleading sense of being healthy. You believe you're making a wise decision, while your body quietly bears the cost. And that cost is the gradual harm inflicted by a daily snack that appears to be good for you. It's the rise in glucose that puts a strain on your heart. It's the indigestion that messes with your sleep. It's the sudden energy crash that inevitably comes after the sugar high. Dried fruit might appear to be a friend, but for many older adults, it acts as an invisible saboteur, slowly robbing them of comfort, stability, and metabolic balance over the years. We have to learn to scrutinize not just the things that taste sweet, but also the things that have been packaged and processed to seem beneficial while actually causing damage. 4 must-eat fruits after 60. Just as some fruits in their dried form can mislead us, others that are still fresh and whole can provide the very medicine our bodies are yearning for. So now, let's shift our focus toward hope, toward the fruits that have the power to restore, protect, and energize us, even as we move into our 60s, 70s, and beyond. What are the foods you should be consuming every single week to help you stay mentally sharp, physically strong, and emotionally steady? Let's start with a small blue fruit that could very well be the key to preserving your memory. 1. Blueberries, a brain and memory booster. There is a sort of quiet magic to a blueberry. It's small, modest, and doesn't draw a lot of attention to itself like some of the more eye-catching fruits do. Yet, packed inside every one of these tiny berries is one of nature's most potent gifts, particularly for those of us who are navigating the later chapters of our lives. During a period when our memories can start to weaken and mental clarity can feel like it's slipping away, blueberries provide us with hope. This isn't just about comfort. It's about genuine protection. Scientific research has now validated what many of us have sensed for a long time. Our diet directly influences how we think, how well we remember things, and even our emotional state. And when you look at all the fruits that have been studied for their effects on brain health, blueberries consistently come out on top. They are packed with anthocyanins, which are the pigments responsible for that deep blue color. But these compounds do more than just provide color. They serve as guardians that can cross the blood-brain barrier to help lessen inflammation, enhance the communication pathways between brain cells, and protect against the oxidative stress that gradually erodes our memory and cognitive function. Consistently eating blueberries has been tied to a slower rate of cognitive decline, improved decision-making abilities, and even a reduced risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. For seniors, these are not minor claims. They are lifelines. They mean more time being able to recall the names of loved ones, more moments of clear thinking during peaceful mornings, and a greater degree of independence when it is most crucial. But the wonderful thing about blueberries isn't limited to their cognitive advantages. They also contribute to regulating blood pressure, supporting cardiovascular health, and are naturally low in sugar, which makes them a perfect choice for individuals with diabetes and other heart-related concerns. Just a simple half cup each day, whether added to yogurt, mixed into oatmeal, or enjoyed on its own, can create a significant positive change. In a world that's so focused on pills and prescriptions, it's easy to overlook the fact that some of the most effective medicines actually come from the earth. Blueberries are living proof of this. They don't just provide nourishment. They protect, they restore, and they gently help preserve what is most precious, your mind. And if this tiny blue fruit can help keep your memory sharp, just think about what a crisp, fiber-packed apple can do to safeguard your heart, and why having one each day might genuinely help keep you out of the doctor's office. 2. Apples, the heart-healthy fiber hero. There is a profound, quiet wisdom embedded in the old saying, "An apple a day keeps the doctor away." And although it might seem overly simple or even a bit dated, this unassuming fruit holds truths that are more vital than ever for those of us navigating life after 60. At a stage when our hearts require more diligent care, our digestive systems grow more delicate, and our bodies are crying out for a sense of balance, the apple provides potent protection in its most common form. Apples are loaded with soluble fiber, particularly a kind called pectin. This type of fiber works by binding to cholesterol within the digestive system, helping to escort it out of the body before it has a chance to be absorbed into the bloodstream. For seniors, this translates to apples being able to actively lower harmful LDL cholesterol levels, thereby reducing the risk of heart attacks and strokes, all without relying on additional medication. They also happen to be naturally low in both calories and sugar, which makes them a safe and satisfying snack that promotes stable blood sugar levels and helps with healthy weight management, both of which are critical for heart and joint health in our later years. But apples offer more than just heart protection. The fiber they contain also fosters a healthy digestive tract by alleviating constipation, an issue that often becomes a common and frustrating problem as we get older. Furthermore, the antioxidants found in the skin, like quercetin and flavonoids, deliver anti-inflammatory benefits that contribute to our overall wellness, even assisting in lowering the risk for certain types of cancer and neurodegenerative conditions. And maybe just as importantly, apples are deeply comforting and familiar. They evoke memories of autumn harvests, homemade pies, and the simple pleasure of a crunchy bite on a cool day. There is a real sense of comfort in that, providing both physical and emotional nourishment. It's remarkable how one fruit that is so readily available can quietly influence your health in such significant ways. So indeed, a single apple each day truly can make a profound difference, not only in what it provides but also in what it helps your body prevent. And if the apple serves as a silent protector for your heart, what about a fruit that can nourish your bones, your brain, and your skin simultaneously? It's creamy, it's rich, and it's frequently misunderstood. Let's discuss the avocado. 3. Avocados, nourishing with healthy fats. Out of all the fruits you could put on your table, the avocado really is in a class of its own. It doesn't offer a burst of sweetness, it doesn't come in flashy colors, and it's not the type of fruit you would typically see sitting in a decorative bowl on the kitchen counter. But for those of us in our 60s and beyond, the avocado is more than just a food. It's a source of fuel for promoting longevity, mental clarity, and physical strength. Avocados are packed with monounsaturated fats, which are precisely the kind of fats your body requires as it gets older. These are fats that don't end up clogging your arteries but instead work to protect your heart, feed your brain, and bring down your bad cholesterol levels. They contribute to reducing inflammation all over the body, which can help soothe the aches in aging joints and allow for more fluid movement. For seniors who are currently living with heart disease or are actively trying to prevent it, this fruit can be a total game changer. But the advantages run even deeper than that. Avocados are full of vitamin K, which is crucial for maintaining bone strength and preventing fractures, something we often don't give much thought to until a fall serves as a stark reminder of how fragile we've become. They also provide a good dose of folate and potassium, which help in managing blood pressure, enhancing circulation, and lowering the risk of a stroke. And thanks to the presence of lutein, a very potent antioxidant, they also support the health of our eyes, helping to defend against macular degeneration and other forms of age-related vision decline. Beyond the scientific facts, avocados provide a feeling of richness, not only in their creamy texture but also in the way they make you feel. A few slices on a piece of whole grain toast or a spoonful next to a fresh salad. It feels like true nourishment, not like you're restricting yourself. At this point in life, when so many different foods get labeled as off-limits, the avocado stands out by saying, "I'm here to support you, not to cause harm." So, while some people might be busy chasing the latest food trend or some exotic superfruit, this smooth green fruit delivers its benefits quietly, consistently, and with profound effect. And if avocados can bring strength to your bones and clarity to your mind, imagine a fruit that can not only calm your digestion but also help reduce inflammation throughout your entire body, especially in the places where you feel it most, your joints. Let's dive into the healing capabilities of papaya. For papaya, digestive and anti-inflammatory power. In a society awash with over-the-counter antacids, topical joint creams, and a seemingly infinite variety of supplements, it's become all too easy to forget that sometimes the most effective relief comes from the most uncomplicated sources. Papaya, with its soft, golden orange flesh and gentle tropical sweetness, is far more than just an enjoyable treat. It serves as a natural healer, particularly for individuals in their senior years. As we get older, our digestion tends to become more delicate. Meals that we once handled with ease might now lead to bloating, general discomfort, or acid reflux. But papaya is a source of papain, a naturally occurring enzyme that gently assists the body in breaking down proteins, which lessens the strain on your digestive system. For seniors who contend with slow digestion, irregularity, or the adverse effects of long-term medication use, papaya provides more than just comfort. It provides genuine relief. In addition to its digestive advantages, papaya is abundant in vitamins C, A, and E. These are nutrients that are well known for their ability to fortify the immune system, protect the skin, and fight inflammation, a major contributor to chronic conditions such as arthritis and heart disease. For older adults who are managing joint stiffness, inflammatory issues, or a weakened immune system, papaya works quietly behind the scenes to help bring back balance and mitigate the silent harm that occurs inside the body day after day. Its texture is wonderfully smooth, its flavor is mild, and its impact is significant. It doesn't require any cooking, special preparation, or complexity. Just consuming a few slices each day can support your body's health from the inside out. More than just a food, papaya serves as a reminder that healing doesn't always have to come out of a bottle. Occasionally, it is found in nature's own packaging, ready to benefit those who prioritize genuine wellness over quick-fix solutions. Now that we have looked at the fruits that can support your brain, fortify your heart, help rebuild your bones, and soothe your digestion, the question that follows is, what takes place when you combine all of these choices? How can you weave them into a straightforward daily routine that safeguards your future, one bite at a time? Let's explore that next. Your health is in your hands, one bite at a time. As we journey through the later chapters of our lives, there's a quiet truth that becomes more apparent with each year that goes by. We can no longer afford to be complacent about our health. The foods we used to eat without giving them a second thought, the ones we were raised on, celebrated with, or simply ate out of habit, now carry a completely new significance. Every single bite either contributes to our healing or adds to the load our bodies are forced to bear. But therein lies the hope. It is never too late to start making better decisions. And often, these improved choices don't have to be extreme or difficult. They can be as simple as opting for a handful of blueberries instead of dried fruit, selecting an apple over a sugary treat, slicing up an avocado instead of using processed spreads, or adding papaya to your breakfast rather than seeking relief from pills. These minor choices, when made consistently day after day, start to construct something truly powerful. A stronger heart, a sharper mind, more stable joints, improved digestion, and, most crucially, a renewed sense of control over your own well-being. That is a gift truly worth safeguarding. We must also learn to accept with both grace and wisdom that not every food is still suitable for us. Certain fruits, despite being natural and once beneficial, might now work in opposition to our aging bodies. Grapefruit, bananas, cherries, and dried fruits, they are not inherently bad, but they do call for caution. They necessitate that we stay aware of our medications, our blood sugar levels, our kidney function, and our unique personal health situations. And being aware isn't about fear. It's about maturity. It's a sign of respect for the body that has carried us for all of these years. Let this serve as a reminder not of what you can no longer have, but of all the wonderful things that are still available to you. Nature has blessed us with a vast array of healing foods. We just need to select them with deliberate intention. So, whether you are 60, 70, 80, or older, please know this: your best health is not in your past. It is right here, in this present moment, with every meal and every choice you make. The fruits you decide to bring into your life can be more than just sustenance. They can become your partners in longevity, your protectors, and your daily practice of self-respect. And when you care for your body in this manner, with both knowledge and love, you don't merely add more years to your life, you add more life to your years. Because you are worthy of aging with strength, with dignity, and with joy, one mindful bite at a time. These lessons are shared with the hope of inspiring you to live a full and authentic life. Now, I would be delighted to hear from you. Please take a moment to consider and share one insight you've gained and plan to incorporate into your own life. Let's encourage one another on this path toward embracing these truths. If you found this video helpful, please show your support by leaving a comment with the number 1. If not, feel free to comment with a 0. Your feedback is incredibly valuable to us.